a lot of excitement around the program, new arena, deep roster coming back next season. A lot of people pointing this as like a breakout season for Marquette, and I was just wondering if you guys, within the program, view it the same way.
Well, we feel great about where our program's at. I love the guys that I get to work with on a daily basis. I think we have some experience. I think we have a good level of talent. We have depth. We have good balance in terms of our roster, our makeup. We have a great schedule when you combine our non-conference schedule and obviously playing in the Big East Conference, and then the excitement that's added with the ability to play in Fiserv Forum. So there's tremendous excitement internally, and we're working each day to make sure we maximize the potential of the group.
How much of a recruiting edge is a new arena to a potential player coming in?
Well, obviously the Fiserv Forum is as nice a basketball venue as there is in the United States, and for kids that's important. They want to see facilities and venues that scream to them elite, and certainly Fiserv does that. We've been fortunate, whether it's at the Bradley Center or Fiserv, we've recruited pretty darn well. The thing I'm most excited about with Fiserv doesn't necessarily have to do with recruiting, although I do think it'll help. I think the way it's configured, the technology, the intimacy of the building, I think we have a chance to create a great home court advantage and tremendous enthusiasm on a night-to-night basis. And that's something I'm looking forward to seeing if we're able to do that.
Between that and the new facility across the street, do they have the weight of expectations for this year?
I don't really think about expectations. The only expectations that I think about are the expectations that we have internally, and we have high expectations. So whatever other expectations that the outside world wants to put on us, that's none of my concern, because I can't control that. What we can control is how hard we work every day, how close we come together as a team, how much we can accept our roles, and how well we execute the game plan, both offensively and defensively.
Steve, obviously Marcus is going to be like a Big East Player of the Year candidate and stuff like that. How much is it about the team, and how much is it about him and what he could lead this team to?
Well, it's always about the team, and obviously Marcus is a huge part of our team, and he's a guy that's going to have a target on his back because of the accomplishments that he's had through his first 2 years here. I mean, he's had an incredible 2-year run for us, and we expect Marcus to have a terrific junior year. There'll be new challenges for him, but Marcus is a team player. He understands that the better our team does, the more we'll all gain from that, Marcus included. So our focus when we talk to our team is never about individual accolades. If you look at the teams that have won the most, take Villanova, for example, in our league. Those guys get their due credit, but it's a result of them collectively winning.
What are some of those challenges that you expect Marcus to face?
Well, I think obviously with Andrew graduating, Andrew had a bullseye on his back too, and so with the rest of our perimeter, those are guys that are trying to prove themselves or still developing. And so there'll be even more of a spotlight on trying to take Marcus out of the game. He'll also have more ball handling responsibilities and decision-making responsibilities. And so that's an area that he and we need him to grow in. And he's already shown great progress in practice. And then just doing it night in, night out. We need him to be that rock, that consistent rock for our team.
Every preview story written about Marquette, you guys score a lot of points, but you guys need to improve a lot defensively.
Is that what they're saying?
Are you tired of that narrative?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that speaks for you is your play on the court. So, obviously, we got to get better defensively. We've worked very hard at it. We think we've addressed it. But at the end of the day, what people say about you, that you only change that through performance. And so, we'll have to wait to see. But I know our guys are working on that hard at that side of the ball. And, if we can be like we've been offensively, and we're not going to be exactly like it because Andrew was just a very unique elite offensive player. But I think we can still be good offensively, and I think we can be better defensively. And so at the end of the day, hopefully that answers all those narratives.
What do you expect to see Chartouni add to this team?
Well, Joseph's an experienced player. He's played a lot of college basketball. He's a very intelligent young man. He's a guy, when he's on the floor, he really looks to set people up first. So he's an easy guy to play with. Guys like playing with him. I think he's got very good court vision. And although Joseph's not a great athlete, he's a really good defender because of his size, his ability to play angles defensively, and he's got real long arms. And so I think he fits in really well with the personnel that we have.
What's the next step this year for Sam?
Well, again, Sam, to me, Sam's one of the more underrated players in the country. I happen to think, he's one of the top players in the United States. We need more of the same. I think Sam took a huge jump from his freshman to sophomore year. I think we need to see another jump. I think, we're going to put him in position where the ball's in his hands a lot, and we should because he's an outstanding decision maker. We need him, just to improve in all facets of the game. He's a really good all-around player. He's not a guy that can be defined by one aspect of the game. He's got a chance to impact the game in every way, and we need him to do that on a consistent basis, and it sure is nice to see him healthy.
How does he look since his surgery?
Sam has looked terrific. Obviously it was a long recovery, and so at the start of practice, that's really the first time that he's done day-to-day at the level of work that we're putting in right now, and his body has responded really well. I think our training staff has done a great job, and we've tried to be mindful in that we're not just throwing him into the fire. We've tried to, work our way back with him to getting full speed by the time our first game comes. But Sam's a warrior, a smart player, unbelievable team guy, and it's nice to see him play without any pain.
Is it going to be fun to see Sam and Joey together? You have any special sets for them together?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about them right now. A nice try. I think those two have a great chemistry. And Joey is an outstanding young player, and he's a guy that can play multiple positions. Much like Sam, he can pass, handle, and shoot. I think Joey, with each practice, is getting more and more comfortable. You got to remember, Joey's a guy who missed an extended period of time, and he didn't play college basketball, and so there's a learning curve for him, but he's really starting to show doing some really good things. And there'll be times when he's on the court and Sam's not on the court, and there'll be many times when he's on the court with Sam, and I think either way he's going to make us better.
You haven't necessarily had.
Did we silence this side of the room? Go ahead.
You haven't necessarily had depth at the wing positions much in the past, but you seem to have a lot of it this year. What luxury does that provide?
Well, one, I think depth is really good, especially for practices. You're able to have really competitive practices, and even so, you may have a guy bumped or bruised here. You're still able to put 5 guys on the court against another 5 guys that are all high-level players. So depth helps you the most in practice by creating high-level competition on a day-to-day basis. In terms of how we use it as it comes to game time, the guys who thrive the most in competition will play the most. But there's certain situations. We didn't anticipate Greg Elliott getting hurt. Having depth helps that. You never know where foul trouble is going to be. You never know how certain matchups are going to be. And so our depth gives us, the chance to respond to situations that the season will present us and situations that games will present us.
On that note, with your philosophy, how deep do you like to go in the bench during a typical game? 8 guys, 10 guys?
Well, I think it's, we have a team where we can play a lot of guys. a lot of it will be determined on how well those guys that aren't necessarily starting are playing. You can play 10 guys if all 10 guys, when they get in the game, are making positive impacts. We had a team 2 years ago that made the NCAA tournament where we had 9 and 10 guys playing a lot. And we've also had teams where we've not played 10 guys. I think this team is more likely to be a deeper team with 9 or 10 guys in the rotation. At least on paper, that seems. When the lights come on, we'll see how that goes. And it's going to be hard to take Marcus Howard off the court. It's going to be hard to take Sam Hauser off the court. And so how all that works out, that's what we have to evolve to. Our team is far from who we're going to be. We do have experience, but in saying that, we also have a number of new guys that should be impactful players as the season goes on. I mean, Joseph Chartouni has played a lot of college basketball, but his college basketball experience is much different from what we're doing now. Ed Morrow has played 2 years of college basketball. He was injured a lot in the off season. He's learning our system. Joey Hauser has never played college basketball. Brendan Bailey has never played college basketball. And so you have 4 guys there who are eligible to play, and all have a chance to have big roles on our team that we have to integrate with guys who have played. And so to think we're going to be the team on day one that we will be as the months go on, it would be wrong. This team has a great opportunity for growth. And the path of growth for us is something that we'll have to figure out, because we can't exactly say how it's going to be. And so, people have said, and when I go out and speak, like, you guys are so experienced. We are experienced. I mean, it feels darn good to have Sam Hauser and a Marcus Howard and Sakar and Matt Helt, who've played a lot of minutes. But we're also introducing guys who should help us at a high level, who are still trying to figure it out. So that'll be that's the Rubik's Cube we got to figure out.
It wasn't the NCAA tournament last year, but still a deep tournament run at the end of the year. Aside from the 4 new guys that you mentioned, how much residual effect can there be for the players that are coming back, having gone through that gauntlet coming into the year?
Well, there weren't too many teams last season at the end of college basketball that won games in March, and we were one of them. And so games in March are different. And so that experience was very valuable for us. And we were able to play a lot of young guys meaningful minutes in March Madness, even though it wasn't the NCAA tournament. It still mattered. And I think it was very helpful for our program, especially given the youth and how young we were last year.
You mentioned Ed, Steve. What do you feel like he can provide right off the bat, or at least at some point?
Physical presence, really good natural rebounder. He's got a very good motor. Just a different body type than some of the other guys that we have. And he's done it. I mean, when he was healthy at Nebraska, he was a high-impact guy in the Big Ten. And so that's a good thing. Now he's had some surgery this summer, and he had to miss an extended period of time. But he's rounding himself back into shape as well. And I think Ed can give us a physical presence, a toughness, a mentality that I think will be helpful for our entire group.
Coach, you talked about Marcus and Sam making jumps in their junior season. When you look at sophomore Jamal Kane, what kind of jumps do you think he needs to make as he goes into his second year?
Well, I thought Jamal had some really bright moments for us last year. I mean, he had some really impressive games. And so the first jump that you want a freshman to make when they become a sophomore is consistency. Because freshmen tend to have, boy, he was great, and, ooh, he wasn't so great. And so the times and the variance between being really good and maybe not so good, the times you see that should be much fewer and further between. And so the consistency is really important. He's gotten stronger. I think he's gotten better with the ball. I think defensively is a better understanding. But consistency is the key. I think, the same could be said, obviously, Greg being hurt. But with Theo, too, we need the guys who played. They played a lot as freshmen, if you comparatively. And, those, they weren't necessarily guys who people thought were McDonald's All-Americans coming in. But they played a lot, and they showed, all three of them showed some really exciting potential. They got to do that on the regular.
Talking about freshmen, you have some unique freshmen this year. You talked about Joey already. How about someone like Brendan? How has he been after 2 years of not playing, and how has he been acclimating himself to college basketball after that?
Yeah, I think, first of all, Brendan's a wonderful young man. And the 2 years that he spent on the mission, I think really helped him gain a tremendous perspective and develop a tremendous maturity. So from that aspect, he comes in further ahead of most freshmen. 2 years away from not playing basketball, I mean, to be honest with you, I was concerned about how quickly he would kind of get his footing back, and he's done that very well. I think Brendan's got a chance to be a terrific player for us. He's got size and length. He's got competitive maturity. He's not too high. He's not too low, which is another characteristic of freshmen. And he's versatile. So I think Brendan can really help us. And he's been a very good player for us to this point.
Matt Help's a guy that doesn't necessarily get talked about a lot, but you mentioned how much college basketball he's played over the last few years. What does his presence mean to this team and as a leader?
Well, first of all, Matt's somebody who's been a culture driver in our program. I mean, we have great kids in our program right now, and Matt was one of the first guys to start that. Matt is an everyday guy, and Matt may, to the common person, lack some things that guys he competes against may have, but he never lacks in controlling what he can control. And because he does that, and that's a very difficult thing to do, he's put our team in a position to win more than we would without him. Matt, when we're on the court, when Matt's been here, most of the times we play better. And the times that we may have gotten beat when he's on the court, it's not because he wasn't trying to do the things that he was supposed to do. And so I love Matt. Matt may start for us. Matt may be a guy who plays 8 minutes for us. I don't know. That will all be determined based on practice and what group out there gives us the best chance to win. But what I do know is that whatever role Matt has, he is all in it 100% for Marquette basketball. And as a coach, you can't help but just love and root for a guy like that.
Yeah, guys like Matt and Zakaro have been here for a while. Guys like Joe and Ed, who are older players than Marcus, is projected to be your best player. Who do you see emerging as the emotional and vocal leader of the team?
Well, I think Marcus at times last year was the emotional and vocal leader of our team. So I think we need to continue to rely on his spirit. I think he can do that more consistently, and sometimes when things aren't going as well, you get quiet. He needs to do it whether he's got 52 or if he's got 12. The other guy on our team that without question is a leader is Sam Hauser. Now, he may not do it vocally as much, although he's gotten significantly better at that. But on a day-to-day basis, he sets as fine. I can't imagine anybody in college basketball that sets a better example for their teammates of what being an everyday guy does than Sam.
From a coaching perspective, how do you think having the bow-tie-shaped student section is going to affect the other team's mentality?
Well, I hope it just destroys them. One, with moving into the forum, we wanted to try to make the students a bigger part of the game experience. And the bow tie formation, I guess for lack of a better word, was a way that we could keep them involved in the games by being behind the baskets on both halves. They're going to be closer to the court. I think they're going to feel more part of it. We were able to sell out all season tickets for our students, which is amazing. But we need our, students, the building is beautiful. The building comes to life when people are in it. And our students can help us drive that by making it fun, exciting, spirited, loud, hostile, and an amazing place to play. Will you send that quote to every student? Thank you very much.
We good?
Anybody has this? You guys in the back have anything? You're looking like you've been wanting to ask me. Okay?
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.